In celebration of Black History Month, we bring you this story of a musician and organizer with an extraordinary history. Jimmy Collier lifted spirits at thousands of mass meetings and picket lines across the South during the Civil Rights Movement, and he performed in major concert halls from Carnegie Hall to the Houston Astrodome. He now lives a quiet life on a ranch in Mariposa, just outside of Yosemite. We caught up with Collier recently at the Western Workers Labor Heritage Festival in Burlingame.
If you can't go, well, let the children go. Let the children go. Well, if you can't go, let the children go. Let the children go. If you can't go, let the children go. I'm on my way. Glory, hallelujah. I'm on my way.
Jimmy Collier grew up in the segregated rural of Fort Smith, Arkansas. And as a young man, his defiant spirit and musical talent helped dismantle segregation in the South. For many years, Jimmy traveled with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and became known as Dr. King's singing organizer. With a few word changes, the African-American spirituals Jimmy grew up singing became powerful anthems for the Civil Rights Movement.
For safety reasons, they never wanted people to know exactly when Dr. King was going to arrive at a mass meeting like this. So my job was to go a little bit ahead in some cases, and I wouldn't know how long I would have to play. Sometimes it was just a few minutes, sometimes it'd be a couple of hours.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. We were trying to get people to register to vote, and so you'd go out, man, you'd think, God, this is the middle of Alabama or the middle of Mississippi, and people would go out and try and get people to come into town and register, and you'd wonder, people would go off and you'd think, we may never see them again. If we got arrested and we were in the patrol car, you'd see the jail, coming up, and you think, oh my God, thank goodness it's the jail, It's not the river.
Jimmy sang and organized across the South, as well as in Chicago and Harlem. But most of his work took place in Alabama, with the fight for voting rights in Selma and the Long March to Montgomery. 2 civil rights workers were murdered in that struggle.
Viola Liuso was the lady that got killed on the Selma to Montgomery March. And I just happened to be talking to her before she got in the car with another young kid, and they went up to Montgomery. Of course, she never made it. Viola Liuso, while she walked that highway, she had to walk it by herself. Nobody else could walk it for her. She had to walk by herself. We know that once people are involved, even if it's just singing, that there's a next step, and it's easier to take that next step if you've already got people singing or moving their feet or clapping their hands or moving their head back and forth or whatever. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning. I woke up here. My mind, it was stayed on freedom. I woke up, Lord, I woke up this morning with my mind. I used a guitar a lot. I wore out a couple of guitars. In fact, at one point, people on the program came on and they had nice, bright, shiny, new, good-looking guitars and stuff, and I had something that had been drugged through the mud and whatnot, and Dr. King said something to Dr. Abernathy, and they said, well, can't we get Jimmy a better guitar? And so they gave me some money. I went and bought a Gill D40. Early in the South, you couldn't buy strings. No music store would sell you stuff. They knew, they could tell who you were if you were in a town, so you couldn't buy strings and stuff. So it was a big hassle. I learned how to make strings out of all kinds of wire and, A lot of the rights and things that we have today didn't exist a few years ago. Things get pushed back in these hard times, but they never go all the way back. If you miss me from the back of the bus, you can't find me nowhere. Come on over to the front of the bus. I'll be riding up there. I'll be riding.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Music has strengthened us with its sweet rhythms when courage began to fail, and it has calmed us with its rich harmonies when spirits were down."
There's too much hate, always in this world there's been too much hate, too much love, never in this world will there be too much love.